Do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, how do you feel about him?
Realistically?
Realistically.
He claims all this masculinity, but it's like toxic masculinity. This man.
Again, I'm going to stop you right there. Straight for the ad hominems, right? Also, notice who it's coming from. Fake nails, ugly hair, more than 30, overweight. Just keep that in mind.
And does some pretty flamboyant things for like.
Oh, do you think he's?
Oh, look, she attacked his masculinity twice in 30 seconds.
He's very.
You don't like his style? Wait, thing is, I feel like
They're so tight.
he does wear a tight pant. I feel like he's always in a tank top.
Yeah.
Do you like his bald head?
I mean, my dad was bald. I didn't really get along with him, so I'm gonna say no.
Emotional, damn it!
Do you think he's just trolling? Do you think it's real?
I think he wants it to be real, but I don't think it will be.
I don't know. The guy really kind of goes for it. The bald head and all. I feel like he owns it. I don't know, it might all just be a front.
Do you agree with some of the stuff he says, or none of it?
I agree with the man should pay for things.
Does he always pay?
Not always. I just
Not
paid.
always, yeah.
Oh, did you? Wow.
Wow. You see what I'm saying? So these girls, like, they want rules when it benefits them. But when it doesn't benefit them, they don't want those rules. That's literally the entire reason why she doesn't agree with Tate's opinions, right? She doesn't agree with his opinions because his opinions don't favor her. They favor men, right? But again, like, it's guys, I have this advice for you, okay? You should be as self-interested as women are. That's like the best possible advice I could give you. Because when you are, you'll notice like 99% of women's decisions are coming from that perspective of I care about myself above everything else, and that's what I base my decisions on, right? You should do the same. You are the absolute monarch of your own life. You are the boss. You make the decisions. And that will save you from a lot of the problems of modern society.
Oh, you got a good one.
She just bought me lunch, so that was
Okay,
awesome.
my girlfriend pays a lot too, so we're good.
He gets lunch, I get dinner, That's,
I like that when people aren't like, when you ask them to film it. Sometimes when he asks people to film, they're so rude about it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh, let's test these guys. They're definitely gonna love Andrew Tate. Excuse me? Can I ask you guys a question for an interview?
Oh, no, it's not.
All right, do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Yes.
Yes? How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
I think he's the top G.
You think he's top
Top
G? So you like him. What do you agree with? What do you like about him?
Almost everything he says.
What about you?
I don't know who that is.
Do you know who he is?
Oh, I know him. I don't like him. I don't agree with him.
Do you want his Bugatti? Would you let her drive your Bugatti? I don't agree with everything he says, especially because my girlfriend's standing right here too. So for
Well, wait. So the interviewer himself, he said, I can't agree with everything he says because my girlfriend will get mad. Again, this sort of attitude, right? That sort of attitude is exactly the sort of thing that the matriarchy, the modern society, wants to teach men. It's be afraid of what your girl thinks. Go with what the matriarchy wants. Do as they say, as they want. Follow the feminine imperative. Guys, if you're doing that, you're in for a very bad time in your future. I'm telling you, you cannot be behaving as though the boss of your life is your girl, or else it's over. You will be a puppet king. Your kingdom and all of the things that you're capable of will be harnessed for the benefit of another person and not for yourself. Imagine that you put all this effort into being a superior man only for it to be channeled into the benefit of another person and not yourself. It's ridiculous. Yes, the other people in your life, including your girlfriend, your children, etc., they can and in fact should benefit greatly from your actions. But your actions are ultimately for yourself as the first priority, and everything trickles from there.
First of all, this is a YouTuber from Ohio. What's your name?
D-World, man. Y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel, D-World.
What kind of content do you do?
I post everyday life, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get my shit going, trying to get my clothing store and get shit booming.
There you go. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
No, not.
You don't know who Andrew Tate is? A lot of people might think that he thinks women are below men. What do you think?
Women are below us. If you think about it, if it weren't for us, women like wouldn't be able to like function in the world without us because we keep them on the right path.
You do. So I don't know if men necessarily keep women on the right path. In fact, I would say the 2022 society has kind of caused women to go on the wrong path, and that's been allowed by men. But here is true. This is true. Men have created every single thing in society that allows women to be entitled to have the opinions they have. That is definitely true. Hello and welcome to the Heliosblog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications, give me a like, give me a comment. If you'd like to support me, I have a Patreon with exclusive content. You can find it at patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Let's continue.
Do you think so? I don't agree with that.
I most likely agree with that.
That's true. Women are the ones that reproduce.
Without our semen, you wouldn't be able to have kids. Well,
That's
it
right.
is a scientific theory that women can have kids without us, but scientifically,
That was the most scientific thing I've ever put on my channel.
yeah.
That's not that. No, there is no scientific theory that girls can have children without men. What is this low IQ garbage? Okay, let's continue.
Do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
I don't like him at all.
What
do
a
you
surprise!
think that the way he talks about women is completely wrong?
Yes.
So what does he say that women do?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm basing this a lot of just what my friends tell me.
Accurate. That would describe the womanist hive mind pretty perfectly. That's, yeah. My friends say it, therefore I believe it, because I want to be allied with my friends because I don't want to be kicked out of the group. That explains 99.95% of girls' behavior in modern society. Is that. But also, it's just, again, we are the biological animals that we've always been. We're just a little bit more culturally advanced than our tribal ancestors, but our brains are wired the same way and our biology is the same. So it's not surprising that people would behave as they used to, not totally, but very close to that, even now. And that's why you see that behavior.
Do you like his bald head?
His bald head.
Kind of looks like the worm from SpongeBob.
Let's get forward!
Well, I mean, he has a decent outlook for like life and like motivation in that sense.
Because suffering is what gives it value. If everyone had a six-pack and it was quick and easy, then it wouldn't be valuable, would it?
But like past that, he's kind of misogynistic, I will say.
Do you guys know who Andrew?
Again, these guys that are useful idiots that say these buzzwords, right, just to align themselves with the feminine, these guys are not, like they're useful idiots for the feminine imperative. This is what the average person thinks, guys. And like they say in the Matrix, the people in the Matrix are your enemy, even if they're nice people. I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's a figure of speech, like the movie. They're not obviously your enemy. But what I'm saying is they're not inclined to believe the things that actually will help them in the long term. Just keep that in mind. So that's why if you try to convince those people of your perspectives, why they won't believe it, why they won't agree, it's because they're so tied up in the feminine imperative, because they believe that that's what will make them successful and able to get laid, that they don't understand that there's a better life on the other side of that, right?
Andrew Tate is?
Yeah. I know.
You know, all right, so how do you feel about Andrew Tate?
Cool, I guess. He be inspiring people, I guess.
Yeah, so do you agree with everything he says?
Not everything, of course not.
What do you agree with and what don't you agree with?
I guess I agree with, the basic stuff he's saying, like work hard, stuff like that. But I don't be agreeing with what he be saying about
About women?
Especially about women. But
Oh, I thought he was gonna say no. I actually do agree with everything he said about women.
not every single thing, but
You know who he is?
No.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was his name. Yeah, I didn't know his name.
Yeah.
So my thing about him is you can frame anything you want to frame. Like I can frame what he say and I can make it sound like it's right. But I can also frame what he said and make it sound like it's wrong. It's not what he's saying. It's how he's.
So how would you frame this? In this video right now, he's talking about how women should never be able to drive cars.
If you're truly shit at something, you can't even tell your crap. Right? If you're completely
He's saying women are so bad that...
Right, but I think what he's trying.
He's not saying that all women are terrible drivers. He's saying that there are some women that are such terrible drivers they don't even know they're bad, and you should save them from themselves, which is true. That's he's telling the truth in a way that gets the most possible views, right? Again, that's done on purpose. The inflammatory tone, the way that he says it, that's yeah. And these guys that are on the fence, that are like, I don't agree, I don't disagree, they're protecting their reputation because maybe they're afraid of losing their job. Maybe they're afraid of, the modern society has forced all of us to think very carefully about how we speak in public, right? Because if we speak a certain way that's considered by society in general, but especially the matriarchy to be negative, we stand to lose everything that we've gained. So a lot of men, and you can see it here, even men that might agree have to say that they disagree. There you go. Okay, let's continue.
trying to do is his first statement. Not necessarily that women are so bad at driving that he's saying his first statement is, if you're so bad at something, you don't know you're bad at it. That you might agree with. The second statement of how he's trying to prove his point is different than what you might agree with his first statement, but his second statement of how his example is just off. It's the way he framed it on the second.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. It's the way.
So you got to think deeper into it.
Right. It's the way he frames
that you don't even like believe that you good at driving type shit.
Yeah.
That's how he is with driving.
So,
yeah. He actually.
Again, this is like, I don't know, guys. This seems like low IQ crap to me. To be honest, like I'm having trouble even listening to this. It's just too. It's too. I don't know. It's not cerebral enough. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Here's the article. He allows his wife to be with other men. Many clueless men fall into this simple trap. They allow their wife to be with other men. This is very bad and will very likely lead to divorce and destruction of the man's life. What does it mean for a wife to be with other men? Any of the following things are marriage-destroying things related to male attention. Men, you must not allow your wife to do these things. Having male friends, spending time alone with any man other than you, be on any sort of advertising platform for men, Instagram, online dating, Snapchat, etc., sleeping with other men, being polyamorous. By allowing any of the above, you're allowing cancerous potential for relationship destruction. There is no such thing as male friends. They'll all shoot their shot, and in a poly relationship, the second your wife has slept with another man, she is now cheating on him with you, since she sees the man she sleeps with as alpha. So basically, if you allow your girl to sleep with another man, she's going to sleep with the most alpha man she can and then use you for the attention, validation, resources, taxi services, etc. What are the actual rules for marriage? So the actual rules for marriage are as follows. Don't sleep with other people in sickness and in health, with money or without. Obviously, these vows are hilariously not upheld in modern society. When people get married, it seems to only hold if the man manages to hold strong and not stumble for the majority of the time. If a man allows his wife to be with other men, he is breaking the rules of marriage as well as she is. Obviously, it's idiotic. Who should control the frame of the relationship? The man should control the frame of the relationship. Any man who would allow his wife to sleep with other men is an obvious beta. The man should dictate the terms and the woman should follow. If your girl is not following you in the relationship, your relationship is already dead. If the woman is not respectful of you and afraid to lose you, she's not your girl at all. She belongs to the game. What will happen to a man that allows his wife to be with other men? As I've mentioned before, any man that allows his wife to be with other men has not only conceded the frame of the relationship, he's also participated actively in his own destruction. When a woman sleeps with a man, it's not the same as when a man sleeps with a woman. Women cannot dissociate their feelings from bedroom fun. This means that if she slept with him, her feelings for you fade and begin with the new man. She's now begun a pair bond with the new man you've allowed her to sleep with and sees sleeping with you as cheating on that guy. In this position, you're not secure in your masculinity. You are the loser. You've allowed a woman to be taken by another man while you still pay her bills and take care of her. So, obviously, no.
She's the worst driver. He thinks he's good, which makes him the worst. This is honestly the best answers that we've gotten so far today. He took us to school with that one. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you feel about him?
No comment.
Also, no comment.
Do you just not agree with anything he says?
No comment.
What about the part where he's like, men should take care of women, that they should pay, do everything?
Well, what does he say the woman has to do?
Everything he says to do, right?
No.
Would you date a man that loved Andrew Tate, that agreed with everything he says?
I don't think I would like anyone that associated with Andrew Tate, let alone.
Right, so again, and notice how these girls are like, their reaction is, oh, what is the public gonna think if I say that I like him? What is the public gonna think? What is my friend gonna think? You see, their answers are not framed in reality and the truth. Their answers are framed in, how am I controlling the public relations? How am I controlling people's, how people see me? How am I controlling my brand of me? That is how many women answer questions like this. It's not direct. It's indirect.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with everything he says. Damn, fool, watch out.
My fault, dog. What do you think of him? I love Andrew Tate, man. What? Let Noel hear that.
Yeah, I was say, but Noel kick you out the house, never let you stay in the house again. I like Andrew Tate when he's like, wait, all these people have millions of dollars and I can't have $1 million? That's how I feel. I'm like, wait, who am I if I can't have $1 million? You think I'm gonna let him have a $5 billion Bugatti? I can't have $1 million? I use that as motivation. Because I want a Bugatti, that's why. What's your name?
Journey.
Journey. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Was he the one who's like saying all that weird shit? Like he was saying like, oh, like women are property?
That's exactly right. So how do you feel about him?
I think he's just like someone who doesn't really have an open mind, and he's just someone who like has, you know, his certain beliefs. I think.
So again, this guy is totally aligned with the feminine. You can even tell in his speech patterns. And again, what is the idea? The idea is he immediately goes for Andrew's character. He doesn't have an open mind. He doesn't... Right, because only by aligning with the feminine can you have an open mind. Only by aligning with the feminine can you be right. You see the idea, guys? This is the idea. This is what the average person thinks. I already told you. This is 2022. Right here.
I think that maybe he may have said one comment on the side, just like jokingly, like maybe kind of taking it seriously, but then he realized how much like attention he was getting because he was saying that type of stuff, and I think he took it to a different level because, I mean, unless there really are people out there who are really like that, because I'm sure there are, but I think he's just looking for attention like everyone else.
Okay, so you don't agree with him?
Of course not, no.
Okay. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
No.
Can I show you a clip of who he is?
Is he funny?
Some people might think he's real funny.
She comes and just crashes.
She's talking about a girl that crashed a car.
How are women allowed to drive? How?
So you don't agree with that?
I don't. I'm actually a chauffeur.
You're what?
I'm a chauffeur.
Are you a chauffeur?
Yeah.
You're lying.
Still's a driver.
This couldn't be a more perfect interview.
That's funny.
Do you guys agree with Andrew Tate? How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
Some of the stuff he said is fairly debatable. Like I don't
Like
know.
what?
It's controversial.
So do you agree with it or not?
No. He's a troll. He's a complete troll.
Oh,
Definitely.
so you think he's like faking it just for views and stuff?
Definitely.
All right, so far we're getting the answers that I...
So again, like people, either people don't believe that what he's saying is genuine, or people disagree and try to avoid actively associating with the guy. This is the average public opinion, apparently. Again, there is no like open-minded, maybe he has a point. There's no like, again, you see? There you go.
I thought we'd be getting. It's pretty, some people agree, some people don't agree. All the girls really don't agree at all. And we also interrupt you because I know you guys are all wondering, and I got asked 10 times, where my fit's from? Young LA.
Okay. I don't care about this,
Hilarious.
Yeah, that completely.
But who is it?
Andrew Tate. He's just a guy online. He's like kind of really popular. He talks about. A lot of people say he's a misogynist. That he talks he talks down on women. He might be the spot in between your gooch and your balls, actually. Do you? How do you feel about the idea of like girls need to do everything the guy says, and that pretty much women are below men? Is what he kind of.
Women are below. Oh, he teaches that women are below men.
He talks a lot about it.
I feel like at this point he could probably already understand the fact that he can get knocked out by a female.
Okay.
Oh my God, here we go. Yeah, these girls talking like they could beat one of the best fighters. You know, he's not currently one of the best fighters in the world. Obviously, he's past his prime. But when he was in his prime, like, no. He's a kickboxing champion. Like, you're not going to compete with that. Okay, anyway. Let's do the fake Tinder profile here. All right, so again, this one, you could just Google it, or I think this is Bumble, whatever. Like, but anyway, the point is that there are things to be learned even from these fake profiles. So this is Addison 23. Our relationship should be like Nintendo 64, classic, fun to spend hours with, and every issue easily fixed by blowing on it, then shoving it back in. Hoo-hoo, so funny, so strong and independent, so empowered. But notice, when the girl is 18 to 23, guess what? Right? What is she doing? She's sleeping around with Chad. Like, this is the theme that we've seen in every single Tinder profile. Like, basically. And it's something that you need to keep in mind. If a girl is advertising herself like this, it means that she's been with many Chads. So if she's been with many Chads, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that obviously she's not going to be a good prospect for a long-term relationship. Just keep that in mind. All right. Back to this video.
I just saw it's like,
are you gonna knock him out?
It's kind of funny.
She wants to fight Andrew Tate.
It's kind of funny, actually. Maybe I should.
You should call him out. He's calling you out right now, Andrew Tate. See this video.
I mean, your name is Tate. You sound kind of soft.
Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
No.
You know who Andrew Tate is?
No, who's that?
You've never seen this guy?
No.
Really? Okay, so he pretty much, what he's getting a lot of heat for is that he's a misogynist, and he's like, he says that women should...
Not really theirs. 32%. That's like almost 1 in 3.
Ready? Pregnancy roulette. This is Haley. What's y'all's bets on her?
Sorry, some random other video started playing. I apologize. Let's continue.
You kind of like listen to men, and like men should do all the providing. Women just have to like clean and just listen to the man. Like, how do you feel about someone like that?
I feel like, especially nowadays, it's a balance. Women have to learn how to be soft again, because a lot of women right now are independent, which is a great thing. I am too, but I think sometimes you have to learn how to. It's a balance of being soft and listening to your man too, but your man.
Wow, this is the first girl in the entire video that actually knows what she's supposed to be doing. And guys, notice she's also highly physically fit. So somebody taught this girl properly, right? Somebody somewhere taught this girl like some of the stuff that she should actually know. Incredible. That's a very rare thing. Wow. Shoutouts to whoever taught her. Mother, grandmother, father, brother, cousin, friend, whoever did it. Great job. YouTube videos, I don't know.
Has to also, do what you need. So I think it's a balance.
That was actually a really good answer. You're actually the only girl that has given us that answer. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
I just hear his name everywhere. I haven't like actually seen all of his stuff, but that's a tough one.
Do you think he's being serious with everything he says? Do you think he's trolling just for like?
I think it's a mixture.
It's a mixture of both.
He's part trolling and part serious.
I think it's a mixture, because I generally do believe that some stuff he says about business and like going to make money. I agree with that stuff.
That's what I said.
Go work your fucking ass off.
Yeah.
Why go make as much money as you want.
Yeah.
But I think some of the stuff he says about women, or just like how he talks about them, he's doing it for like views to troll.
100%.
Definitely.
I see you show. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Your fanboy. It makes me feel good. Stop it. Come on, keep going. Not checking. All right. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
You know, it makes some good points sometimes. But other times he could be a little, a little crazy on his topics. But he makes some good points.
What are the good points?
I can't remember which one it was. He said like when you lose your father, when he lost his father, like 10 years later after he died, he said those are bonus points. Like I'm 18, so every year I get my father after the 18. That's like a bonus point for me because my father did a great job raising me. So I would love to have him for the rest of my life. So every year now I look at it as like a bonus for me.
Damn, I didn't.
I agree. That's actually, yeah. That's again, what the guy says is actually not so controversial. To be honest, he is just speaking like the old way. Like what Andrew Tate is saying is like, if you go back like let's say 50, 60 years, everyone believed what Andrew Tate is saying now, or 99% of people. It's only in the last like 2 generations or whatever that men have changed their opinions. So, and they're calling him a fossil when really these new thoughts are novelties. And if we look at the result of these new thoughts on society, they're not necessarily the best results, right? And you see like even the physically fit guys, like most of them are clueless, right? They don't know anything about anything. They're just, like, I don't know how to explain. They appear to be clueless about the way the world works, which is kind of incredible to me. Like, you would expect that after interviewing so many people, you'd find 1 person or 2 people that aren't clueless, but no, you didn't find any.
I didn't know he said that, and hearing you say that actually kind of sentimental. I'm looking at goosebumps. I'm looking about to text my dad right now. Logan Paul versus Andrew Tate. Who are you taking?
Logan Paul for sure.
Jake Paul or Andrew Tate?
Jake Paul for sure. Confirmed.
I want to see it, guys. Let's see it. Comment down below who you guys think would take in the fight. I think I would take Jake Paul.
So these guys are saying that the new guys are, I mean, to be fair, these guys are young, right? Like Andrew is 35, so and I have seen a fight between a younger fighter and an older fighter, Vitaly Klitschko versus a 20-year-old. I think it was a 20-year-old fighter, and it was quite a competitive fight, but you could tell that Vitaly was just tired a lot faster, even though he was 40 and highly physically fit. That's just how it goes, right? As you get older, you're just not the same as you were when you were 20. That doesn't mean you can't win the fight, but it means it's much harder for older men to win. That's just biological reality, right? So, all right, let's do an article here. Growing up Asian and unskinny with the pressure to be thin nearly taking over my life. So guys, this is what they're calling it. They're calling it unskinny now. You see? Growing up as an Asian American, I knew I'd never have the long legs or double-lidded eyes of the models that graced the TV screens and magazines I saw. Hell, I might not even have the tan skin if my melanin continued to refuse to cooperate. I recognized it would be biologically impossible for me to achieve the majority of Western beauty standards. False. And I was okay with that. Instead, I contented myself with believing I could do fairly well by Asian standards. My nose was upright, my hair was sleek and straight, surrounded by petite Asian adults. I also assumed that I would grow up to be the same way, effortlessly easy and thin. Then, puberty arrived. No, arrived is too passive a word. Puberty blistered across my body, ravaging my hormones, skin, bones, and self-esteem all in one shot. I put on pound after pound. I worked harder than ever at swim practice, thinking it would help keep my weight in check, but instead, my thighs thickened and my shoulders bulked up. You know what that means? That means you're eating too much. I slowly and painfully realized I wasn't blessed with the fast metabolism and bird-like bone structure I thought I was given. Actually, you were. You're just eating too much. I'm lucky in that my westernized parents never forced any sort of girls should be docile and fragile ideal on me. That didn't protect me from my family and friends who still thought I ought to look the part. Aunts who clucked their tongues at my round thighs. Family friends who take my mother aside and mutter in low concerned tones about how wide I was getting. You see? So this idea of shaming, this still happens in Asia. Thank God for that. It doesn't happen in the West anymore. And the problem is that as a result, you have girls that are size 22 dress that think that they should get men in the top 10%. And I'm sure almost all of you can relate. It is a terrible, terrible thing to have people openly dissect the changes in your body and that you feel powerless to stop. Except you weren't powerless to stop it. You just had to eat less. I lived with two standards of beauty, neither of which told me any part of my body was worth loving. I continued to struggle with my weight all throughout middle school and high school, oscillating between hating how I looked and hating how I felt about how I looked. I knew I had body image issues, but it didn't stop me from wanting to obtain my distorted ideals of beauty anyway. By age 16, I tried fasting, juice diets, cutting out rice, calorie counting, lettuce, diets, kickboxing, and more. Some methods like exercise classes and eliminating soda certainly made me healthier, but I never got my weight down to the number I wanted. Other methods like starving myself only added to the colossally messed up web of low self-esteem, and distorted body image that was on my mind. There was a point in the past year where I was eating about 800 calories a day. I'd come home, do my homework, guzzle a giant can of green tea with yogurt, and then go running. I lost weight, but I was miserable. Then I would snap, binge eat everything I could get my hands on, and then restart the cycle. I ate when I wasn't hungry, then restricted myself when I was. Food stopped being nourishment. It wasn't even a reward or punishment, but a lens through which I viewed every aspect of my life. Okay. And then she talked about how she started doing stuff that I can't talk about because of YouTube terms of service. I was defective, and any measures I took to try and disguise this fact had to be kept secret. Beyond the realistic body shaming, I hid my struggle. I silently resented my little brother who was underweight and had to drink chocolate milkshakes after dinner to bring the scale up. I saw red after I got onto the subway in Taiwan and saw a beanpole skinny college student toting a bag of fried chicken. I looked away in anger when we went out to dinner. My thinner friends would order burgers and joke about pigging out when I picked up my salad. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, again, I believe that this girl's just eating too much. That's what it is. And she said she tried everything. I'll bet she didn't. I'll bet she wasn't all that disciplined. And that's just what it is. Like, that's how it goes. Maybe she has to be perfectly disciplined, unlike some people who don't have to be perfectly disciplined. But that's just the way it works. Different people have different metabolisms. You have to adapt. Adapt or die. That's the way that the world works. All right, we're going to end the video there. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, hit the sub, hit all for notifications, give me a comment if you agree or disagree with my points. If you would like to support me, I have a Patreon with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just subscribe to any tier. Any support is appreciated. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to my video, especially if you got to the end. You guys are wonderful, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please remember to do all of the following. Like the video for the algorithm. Comment on the video. I respond to all comments and I'll give you a heart. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can see my content on your feed. Check out all of my content on other platforms. It spreads the reach of the channel. YouTube, bit.ly/heliosyoutube. Rumble, bit.ly/heliosrumble. My blog is realheliosblog.com. My podcast, bit.ly/heliospodcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can also support the show at bit.ly/heliosdonations and buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Thank you so much for all of your support.